Steelers. Let's do it. Good Wednesday, June 18th, everybody. How you doing? Welcome back to the Hat and Beard Show. I'm your hostess with the mostest and very congested, in case you can't tell, Hat and Beard. And you are an awesome and attentive audience. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. That's what we love about you here today, boys and girls. As you are more than aware, it's probably why you're here, is you are desperately wanting to get some NFL news, some Detroit Lions news, because it is the offseason. We are just slogging through like a ship in the age of sail. We are just slowly making our way across this ocean of an offseason. But today we will dig up some stories for you guys over at the Sporting News. For our national news segment, we have NFL Insider casts doubt on Mike Tomlin's future with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, people I've come to realize are very divided on Mike Tomlin. Not so much in a love-hate per se relationship, but either you really like Mike Tomlin or you think he's a little overrated. And without the hardware to show it, he is the equivalent of Pad Statford on the head coaching field, but that's neither here nor there. While we are on the topic of the Pittsburgh Steelers, why not bridge the gap between the Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers? As you guys are well aware, we had a defensive back a couple years back, Deshaun Elliott, did a one-year stint. Former Lions defensive back earns extension with Steelers. Deshaun Elliott is rewarded with an extension after career best in 2024. We're just going to take a little looky-loo on over to there to see kind of how the numbers match up between the guy who we had for 1 year versus the guy that we now have long-term. Just a little bit of a discrepancy in the salary numbers. One guy plays well, one guy plays at an Ed Reed level, and then we're going to get into some Detroit Lions news here, guys. Our boy, the guy who we cannot question as much as we may want to, as many years of Madden as we may have played, as much Electronic Arts GM as we have wheeled and dealed in the past, we need to understand that Brad Holmes is the smartest man in the room. And until proven otherwise, we have no reason to question his moves. But Lions GM Brad Holmes reiterates confidence in teams' defensive ends. Detroit Lions general manager Brad Holmes continues to suggest the team is happy with their defensive end status. We'll take a little look-see here what Pride of Detroit's got to say. As you guys know, some of us are, wanting a defensive end, wanted a defensive end in the draft. Some people are really clamoring for big Zadarius Smith. It's a little bit of a controversial situation. I mean, we all know that Aiden Hutchinson is the man with the plan. He's looking great, at least in pajama practices. Should be a man possessed. I'm calling for 69 sacks out of Aiden Hutchinson this year. But the question then becomes, who exactly is his running mate there? Last year was supposed to be Marcus Davenport, but as history shows itself, he couldn't stay healthy. Neither could our entire defense, for that matter. But the Lions still putting a lot of emphasis and a lot of weight on him being able to be the guy? Question mark? Or do we have one of the younger up-and-coming guys potentially reach their ceiling? I'm looking at you, Josh Paschal. Or maybe even our boy Ahmed Hassanin ends up being a man possessed in the Malcolm Rodriguez of this year's draft class. And then finally, we are getting some good news out of Allen Park that's coming out yesterday. Detroit Lions 2025 training camp. We will know that on the weekend of July 26th, the team will be back together. So we'll take a little look, talk about some things that you guys can do if you want to try to attend, what to do. It's just a little bit of a filler situation. We might not even get to that story. But just so you guys are aware, first, we do have some interaction going on here. We do have a poll up in the chat. Is Mike Tomlin really on the chopping block, or is this off-season smoke? We have 4 votes so far. 25% of you say yes, and that he is Jerry Jones's next coach. I don't know why that feels like a match made in hell, but it's something that I don't know. I just kind of feel it in the underbellies of my bowels. And then 50% of you saying, no, he'll retire a Pittsburgh Steeler, going out possibly, never having a losing record. Why not go out while on top? Why tarnish the legacy that you've already built? And then the third and final option, one of you guys is a clever little fella there, and you like my General Tso, and if you like my General Tso, I'm going to give it to you now. And speaking of giving it to you now, why don't we go ahead and just run down the call to action? So if you haven't already, would you kindly go ahead and assault that like button. Hit her with the old 2-piece and a biscuit while you're down there in the bathtub underneath the video. Go ahead and do a barrel roll on over. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And if you really want to be up to date on all of the comings and goings and be part of the interactive chat, Monday through Wednesday with plans to expand to 5 days a week when we get closer to the NFL season, go ahead and ring that notification bell so that you can be up to date on all of the latest and greatest what's going on here at the Hat and Beard Show, which happens to be the largest, fastest growing Detroit Lions and NFL content creation station, streaming exclusively in the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. hour, broadcasting from Grandma Studio 1. So that is us. And then if you want to really help the channel grow and really go just that final little step here, I want you to go ahead and slide on over to that share button. 80% of you watch this on mobile, so I'm going to walk you through it here. You just click that share button now. This is where it gets real fancy. This is where you can not only trick the almighty algorithm, but you can also fool your friends and family into realizing that you don't have to broadcast that you're a fan of the Hat and Beard Show. I completely understand I'm not a fan of myself. I wouldn't want to be affiliated with myself either. So just go ahead and click that share button, copy that link down on your clipboard. Go ahead and do that 5, 6, 7 times. You can do it as many times as you want. It just keeps counting up the shares on the video and helps the algorithm really falcon punch this up the board. So now that that's all the way, let's get into the show.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
All right, guys. So we got pretty much a good group of you guys hanging out here. 4 of you still voted in. A normal guy. So, Mr. Trey City, I'm sorry, man. That sucks at the stream. You know, I had issues with the stream earlier as well, but I don't know what's going on with that. But as long as everybody's having a relatively solid situation, we're going to proceed forward. Also, I don't know if he's here or not. That's okay. Guys, we got to give a big shout out to my tech expert. I don't even want to say a fan of the channel because I rely on him more for tech stuff than I do for support. It's Chasing Chase's birthday, so big shout out to our boy. I'm Chasing Chase. It's his birthday today. He's got the day off, so if you see him, go ahead and give him an old pat on the back-a-rooski there and tell him happy birthday from all of us here at the Hat and Beard Show. So down here at sportingnews.com, NFL Insider casts doubt on Mike Tomlin's future with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin is one of the most recognizable head coaches in the NFL. The all-time great Pittsburgh Steelers head coach has been in his position since 2007. Holy shit, that is a year after I graduated high school, and has been remarkably successful overall. One of the most impressive feats of Tomlin's career is the fact that the team has never had a losing record. The Steelers have missed the playoffs several times, but have never finished with a below 500 record. That is fucking impressive. Let's be honest. That is, think of all of the coaches that the Lions have gone through since 2007 until current day, and the fact that the Steelers have had one guy there who has, despite missing the playoffs on occasion, has never had a losing season in the Steel City. That alone is a very impressive situation, along with the fact that he's now gone through we'll call it 2 decades of the NFL, an ever-evolving situation, and the generational talents that he has played with, or coached with, and coached against, to be able to pull off a plus 500 career winning percentage. Damn, that's impressive. Now the coach is heading into his 19th season as the head coach of the Steelers, and it appears that his team will once again be a contender. Future Hall of Famer Aaron Diddly-Doo Rodgers was added to the core as the quarterback, and star wide receiver DK -% body fat was added in a trade. They also shipped off George Basket Case Pickens to go run rampant down in Dallas. NFL insider Tom Pelissero recently joined the Rich Eisen show, and Pelissero dropped an interesting tidbit about Tomlin. The insider implied that Tomlin is coaching on a year-to-year basis in Pittsburgh. Quote, they're in win-now mode, as they are every year with Mike Tomlin, who himself is at least somewhat on a year-to-year basis as he enters his 19th season as the Steelers head coach, Pelissero told Eisen. The comment caught Eisen off guard, causing him to ask for clarification from Pelissero. Quote, My belief is Mike Tomlin will be the head coach of the Steelers for as long as he wants to be. But he's entering his 19th season. There is not a lot of precedent in the modern NFL, Bill Belichick aside, for somebody going on 20 years with one team. That is, that's very elite company right there. So I guess the question would be, the poll should be is, when Mike Tomlin ultimately retires from the NFL, how long until he starts dating a 24-year-old whore and loses his mind? Tomlin is currently the longest active tenured head coach in the NFL. Head coach in the four major sports, not just the NFL. As Pellisario mentioned, the coach likely has enough clout to remain in Pittsburgh as long as he wants. But it's also possible the head coach could grow tired of the specific role with the Steelers after 2 decades and a lack of playoff success. Also, in 2 decades, you better start, probably have a, couple more big titles if you're joining an elite company like old Billy Blue Chew Belichick. I forgot about Billy Blue Chew. There has been plenty of speculation in the past about the Steelers possibly firing or trading Tomlin, so it wouldn't be completely surprising. After all, the Steelers haven't won a Super Bowl since 2008 and haven't won the AFC since 2010. Quote, every year we have a story of some team reaching out on Mike Tomlin. Could you end up trading for him? Every year there's some level of rumblings about, could Mike Tomlin decide to do something else, like go fishing or something? I'm not saying he's sitting there right now thinking about it. He's going to walk away after the season. I would just say that you get into these situations, and every year we're talking about what someone's future is going to be, that they should give you a pretty clear indication you're on a year-to-year basis. The Steelers have traditionally been very loyal to their head coaches. The franchise has only had 3 coaches since 1969. Nice. And that includes Tomlin. The 2 coaches before Tomlin, Chuck Noll and Bill Cowher, both stepped down on their own accord instead of being fired. If the Steelers fail to have a postseason success again in 2025, could the team have a new head coach in 2026? As Pellisario mentioned, the Steelers almost certainly aren't firing Tomlin, but it's always possible the coach could finally want to try his luck elsewhere. Or he's going to go find himself a 24-year-old whore, just like his other 20-year head coach. All right, guys, then we're going to walk on over to the chat here after that little article there talking about grass. I'm a fan. I share it all. Hell yeah, that's what's up. I appreciate it. Carrie Simtech. Did I say it right? I've been working on it, dude. You can say whatever Tomlin, but he keeps making the playoffs. But I think the Steelers fan, that's kind of where I'm at, Carrie. I think the Steelers fans, and this is a topic we've talked about a couple of times, is these teams that are stuck in perpetual mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? After a while, being just mediocre, you'd almost rather be bad or really good instead of just middling. You know what I'm saying? It shows a lack of either the talent you're playing against is too good, or you're not getting enough talent in to get you over that hump. Either way, something needs to be addressed. Hey, Chase, good morning, dude. You just got here. Hey, man, we just gave you a shout-out for your birthday, guys. So everybody, I'm chasing Chase. This is his birthday today. Happy birthday, Mr. President. I'm not going to do a little dance for you. You got to pay extra for that. Detroit Lions going to beat Pittsburgh. Kirby gets to send Rodgers back into the retirement. That's exactly what I'm hoping for, Carrie, is that Kirby continues his dominance over Aaron diddly-doo Rodgers. Grow Channel Grow, let's do a huge amount of views yesterday. Yes, Mr. Detroit City. We did get a abnormal amount of views on the Monday stream. Don't really know what that was all about or what I said or did, but hey, I'm chalking it up to you guys doing the hard work down there, sharing everything around. AR's Daddy Kirby going to eat 2 more picks off him. That's right. That's what we like. Thanks for making me feel less old. I feel as old as petrified wood. I'm sorry, Carrie, dude. My bad. Hey, good morning, Jason Kenyon. Good to see you, my dude. If Tomlin has a losing record this year and he misses the playoffs for the first time, Aaron Rodgers will be the biggest reason, unless Tomlin benches him right away. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be huge problem for the Pittsburgh Steelers. B Smiles 84, hey, Hat and Beard Show. Just found your show. It popped up on my Steelers feed. Thanks for showing up and showing out. Hey, appreciate it, B Smiles. I am not a Steelers hater by any stretch of the imagination. I lean more towards being a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, namely because I like what they've done over the years. The product has always been better than Detroit, so I always had to have a second team, as well as the cultural fit between the people of Pittsburgh and the people here of the Motor City. We're a very similar breed of individual, and I'm glad to have you here, dude. Thanks for checking us out. If you like what we do here, feel free to stick around and maybe subscribe to the channel, my dude. We go Monday through Wednesday, and we're planning on expanding to 5 days a week here, so keep your ear to the ground. That news will be breaking here pretty soon. So did y'all see or catch the news of the fights in Indy yesterday afternoon? Was a banger from what I saw in the news clips. Nope, Jason, I didn't see any of that. Didn't see it. No, Chase, dude, Chase, for real. Bro, I was planning on giving you a big shout out this morning. I kind of thought about doing like a little birthday video or something, like finding like a happy birthday video. I tried. The guy I work with yesterday had his old lady pick him up dinner, and I was like, hey man, if she's gonna stop at Burger King, do you think you could grab a crown? He was like, oh, she's stopping at Wendy's. And I was like, fuck, dude. So I was gonna wear like a little birthday crown for you and shit, dude. So yeah, happy birthday, Chase. Congratulations. Everything's turning up, Chase, you guys. Seriously, this dude's things are going great for him. Got a big promotion a couple weeks back, dude. Big birthday, dude. Hell yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up, guys. So I appreciate y'all sticking it. I appreciate y'all sticking it in. I really appreciate you guys just sticking it right in there. So speaking of the Steelers, and since we are a Detroit Lions fandom here, let's go ahead and bridge that gap. And we're going to talk about former Lions defensive back earns extension with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that is our guy Deshaun Elliott is rewarded with an extension after a career best 2024 season. All bullshit aside, I was a fan of Deshaun Elliott. I kind of liked what he did here. This was in the time before we knew that Brad Holmes was the mad wizard that he is, right? And I was a little confused because I thought Deshaun Elliott played well for us. Obviously, I had no idea that there was this guy named Kirby Joseph who was going to absolutely dominate the NFL. So, did we lose anything by losing Deshaun Elliott? Nope. Did we gain everything? Oh, we gained everything. Everything. Kirby Joseph is Ed Reed. He's the next Ed Reed in the NFL. But let's go ahead and give some flowers to our guy, Deshaun Elliott. Former Detroit Lions safety Deshaun Elliott has to be a happy man right about now. Elliott, who was a key cog in the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary a season ago, reportedly inked a 2-year, $12.5 million extension with Mike Tomlin's team Monday. The extension includes $9.2 million in guarantees per NFL reporter Tom Pellisario. Been a busy man on the Hat and Beard Show today, Mr. Tom Pellisario. Feel free to shout out the Hat and Beard Show, Mr. Tom Pellisario. Go ahead and go on that national news circuit and shout out the Hat and Beard Show. That'd be dope. The 28-year-old he's only 28. Defensive back produced a career-best campaign in his debut with the Steelers in 2024. He amassed a career-high 108 tackles last season, along with 6 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, and a lone interception. You can't be mad. You'd like to see them INT numbers go up, but he's clearly getting takeaways, breaking passes up, and making tackles. So that's pretty good considering he is not the best safety in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? With Minkah Fitzpatrick still there running rampant. Additionally, he permitted a passer rating of just 88.8. This is the nearest defender. It was good for his best passer rating against Mark since his rookie campaign in 2019. For his effort, PFF gave him a 70.2 overall grade, including a career-best run defense of 87.8, a career PFF tackling grade of 90.3. After signing the extension, Elliott posted to his Instagram story, quote, "Grateful for the Rooney family, Omar Khan, and Coach Tomlin for bringing me into Pittsburgh and giving me a home. Thankful to be extended for 2 more years to play for the best organization and in front of the best fans in the NFL. I would pump the brakes personally. I would say that the Lions fandom is obviously the best fandom in the NFL. We travel like a bunch of screaming banshees everywhere. The Dallas native originally inked a 2-year, $6 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers last season. It came after Elliott spent a lone campaign with each of the Lions and the Miami Dolphins in back-to-back seasons. Elliott, a sixth-round pick of the Baltimore Ravens, in 2018 compiled 96 total tackles, including 5 for a loss and 14 games with Detroit in 2022. In his one season with Dan Campbell's squad, he also recorded 3 passes defended, a single interception, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery, and earned a 66 PFF overall grade. So the numbers were pretty similar there. I mean, 96 tackles, a couple of passes, 3 passes defended, and a single interception, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. So not bad production. But look at the I like it. I like Deshaun Elliott. I like what they did here. This is a nice money move. You got a decent player for what, $6.25 million a year against the cap. Compare that to what the Lions are paying for Kirby Joseph. Now the question is, did the Lions overpay for Kirby Joseph? No, not at all. Did the Steelers maybe get a really team-friendly deal out of Deshaun Elliott? I don't know. I think they paid exactly what they need to pay for Deshaun Elliott, and I'm glad to see the guy get in a spot. Signing a let's see, what would this be? So Baltimore, Miami, Detroit, Pittsburgh. So technically a 5th contract. It's not bad coming out as a 6th-round draft pick. The guy finally getting what he's worth, the money that he's worth, the money that he's due. Now, in an alternate universe, the Lions kept Deshaun Elliott, and we didn't get our dirty little dick beaters on our guy Kirby Joseph. And I am a sad little boy. So let's roll on over to the chat. Man, the WNBA was a bit of a fight arena between the Fever and the other team. They bully ball each other, and right on. Well, I'm not going to lie, Jason. I tend to just completely shy away from the WNBA and even the highlights. Elliott was a good DB, but he got 2 elite guys roaming the back end now. Exactly, Brent DeWitt. He was a good dude. He played good for the Lions, but the future of what the Lions secondary became and what we continue to be is, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anyway. Those 2 safeties we got are just lights out. They're the 2 best safeties in the game. B Smiles, do you all think the Steelers get a wide receiver? So who would be your wide receiver 2 down there in Pittsburgh, my guy? He's B Smiles asks, who would the number 2 wide receiver be to help out DK? And I think you're gonna have to look at your boy old the Muth getting Luth. The old Patrick Freiermuth, if he can stay healthy. He's kind of had some injuries in his career, kind of hindered him. But Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure, will be able to distribute the ball around just enough to get it to some guys. And Aaron Rodgers does, as much as I hate to say it, he has in the past had the ability to create a wide receiver 2 essentially out of nothing, simply by targeting guys and the veteran experience that he has, back-to-back MVP, Super Bowl ring. He does know what he's doing. I'm going to be honest with you, brother. B Smiles, there's not going to be a lot of fans of Aaron Diddly-Doo Rodgers here at the Hat and Beard Show. Happy birthday, Chase from Mr. Detroit City. Good to have you back, Mr. Detroit City. Sorry I had to reboot the stream. They could use another weapon, but I think Roman Wilson is going to be one of AR's security blankets. Yeah, isn't Roman Wilson, didn't he come out of Michigan? Isn't he a Michigan product? Kind of fits that Amon-Ra St. Brown build, kind of fits into kind of what Aaron Rodgers likes with a number 2 wide receiver, kind of a Jordy Nelson-like, you know what I'm saying? I'm late, but here, hey, good morning, Sam Armstrong. You're not missing much. We've been talking about Steeler Nation all morning, my dude. Been all over my sports feed. Oh, gotcha, Jason. Recently, I'm not gonna lie, I have been watching more politics than sports. Been watching the gas prices shoot up as the Middle East continues to pop off. Roman Wilson, the next Randall Cobb. Sam, I like where your head's at with that. So B Smiles. Sam Armstrong had a nice take there. Roman Wilson, the next Randall Cobb. What do you think? He's kind of B. Wilson's kind of our Steelers insider right now, and I think you're not wrong with that comparison. Is Roman Wilson as fast as prime Randall Cobb? Can the Steelers utilize him like that? The NBA is a joke. Never seen a conglomerate be around for 30 years and never once turn a profit. Exactly, Mr. Detroit City. They are floated by the NBA. Glad Elliott got a good squad. DK has Muth. Yep, that Jason Kennedy. Yep, that's what I was saying. The Muth will be getting Luth with DK Metcalf there to draw some attention off of him. And yep, he's from Michigan. Okay, cool. I thought Roman Wilson was from Michigan. I thought he was a Michigan product. Not a Michigan fan over here per se. But you know, I from what I've seen of Roman Wilson, at least the tape of him when he was in college, and then the draft analysis of him, I think he really fits that Randall Cobb, Amon-Ra St. Brown style build. A little bit undersized, a little bit tougher. Can really work the middle of the field. If he polishes up his route running ability, Aaron Rodgers should be able to utilize him with DK Metcalf and Patrick Freiermuth being your 1 and 2 targets. And as far as a pecking order, I would imagine is concerned. But, all that's up for speculation. We will see what happens. That's exactly it, B. Smiles, is especially with a team like Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin can flip everything on its head and come out with an entirely different scheme that nobody saw coming. I think the question would be what do the Steelers do in the backfield? I know that Najee Poop Harris wasn't really that great, but, he did take a lot of production. I mean, they did give him the ball all the time, kind of in a unproductive workhorse role, if it were. So don't forget, guys, we do have a chat open up here. We got 9 votes, a poll in the chat. If Mike Tomlin really on the chopping block, or is this offseason smoke? We got three options for you. Yes, he's Jerry Jones' next coach with 22%. 56% of you say no, he'll retire as Steeler. And 22% of you are saying, you like my General Sal. And if you like my General Sal, I'm going to give it to you now. So he's shifty in with good hands. Yeah, that's true. Roman Wilson does have some shift to him, a little slipperiness to him. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't already, would you kindly walk on over to the channel, subscribe button, poop that so you can join the Hat and Beard Show. Ring that notification bell so you can be updated on every time we go live Monday through Wednesday with plans to expand 5 days a week. Keep your ear to the ground for that notification coming out. And then go ahead and assault that like button and share this video around with all your friends. It's the #1 way that you can help this channel grow. We are a grassroots guerrilla campaign out here. I have no idea how to network. I do really the growth of this channel has been entirely because of you guys. It's been entirely because of you guys. Is that Frank the Tank? What's up, Frank? How you doing, brother? Long time no see. Good to have you in the chat, my guy. Frank the Tank, dude. Frank the Tank, huge W on this guy right here, man. Especially, he's gonna huge W. This is the guy Frank the Tank called our Isaac Tesla pick. That was a wild one. So we're gonna go ahead and roll on over to one of our favorite sources to read, and that is prideofdetroit.com, as we are mostly a Detroit Lions content channel here, though we do talk about the NFL to maximize Big Tent over here at the Hat and Beard Show. Big Tent. So Lions GM Brad Holmes reiterates confidence in team's defensive ends. Detroit Lions general manager Brad Holmes continues to suggest the team is happy with their defensive ends, and based on the number of people that we have on roster, I continue to think that is true. And right now, the only way that we're bringing in Zadarius Smith is if someone gets hurt in training camp. But here we go. Last week, Lions free agent defensive end Zadarius Smith declared that he wants to re-sign with the Detroit Lions, leading many fans to get excited about finally adding the team's defensive end room. And while that signing could still very well happen, Lions GM Brad Holmes made it pretty clear he's happy with the room as it currently stands. Speaking with former NFL defensive lineman Chris Long on the Greenlight podcast, Holmes broke down why he's happy with the team's defensive end. His argument was essentially threefold. Aiden Hutchinson looks like himself. Lions star defensive end Aiden Hutchinson had his 2024 season cut short by breaking his leg. Hutchinson was on pace to be Defensive Player of the Year, was a full participant in Detroit's pajama practices earlier this month, and Holmes says he looks like himself, and I think we all can attest that in pajama practices, Aiden Hutchinson looks better than years past. Aiden looks great. He's been out there in pajamas. I didn't really expect anything else. You never truly know because you don't have a crystal ball, but just knowing how the guy's wired and how he attacks things and how he is in tune with his body, it did not really surprise me. He's out there. He looks explosive. He's changing direction. I mean, he really looks good, man. He's confident in the rest of his crew. Beyond Hutchinson, Holmes hyped up a trio of players in the defensive end room: veteran Marcus Davenport, Al-Quadin Muhammad, and 6th-round rookie Ahmed Hassanin. Here's what he said about each, and this is kind of telling, but that these are the 3 guys that he talked about. We don't see Levi Onwuzurike. We don't see Josh Pascal. We see Al-Quadin Muhammad, whose numbers were very similar to that of Zadarius Smith's last year, and the guy who I just keep getting hyper and hyper. The more I watch this dude, the more I listen to him, the more I see the fire in his eyes, dude. Ahmed Hassanin. These are some pretty big names that the Lions are talking about, at least Brad Holmes talking about. Marcus Davenport, he was playing really good football for us before he unfortunately got hurt. Hopefully he gets better luck on his side. He's been out there, and I'll say he looks just as good. His body is feeling great. His body looks great, and he had a good summer as well. Al-Qadim Muhammad has logged some good snaps for us, played good football, plays hard, he's physical, he'll set edges, and he plays with a lot of effort. And then our boy Ahmed Hassanin. He's got some work to do from a development standpoint, just like they all do. But he's not some fish out of water, raw, don't know what he's doing out there. When you look at his production, he had the most in terms of sacks and pressures combined the last 2 years. He had the most production out of the edge rushers in that class. He just so happens that he plays with his hair on fire as well. Hey, don't shut that door. Cat's trying to shut the door, trying to cut off my airflow. It's hot as balls up here right now, boys. I am starting to get a little damp on the forehead. Don't forget their strengths at defensive tackle. This is the most important thing, is that our defensive tackles and Aiden Hutchinson can cover a lot of deficiencies on the second defensive end, as well as an elevated secondary should generate some pass coverage sacks. Holmes' final point involved the rest of the defensive line. The Lions general manager argued that a team without a strong interior defensive line doesn't stand a chance at doing much of anything, and he's confident in the depth and talent at defensive tackle. You know as well as anybody, if you're good in the middle, I don't care what you have on the edges at corner and at safety. If you're not strong in the middle, it's hard. That's a hard life. So that's why we're really happy to get first-round pick Tyleek the Freak Williams to really fortify that middle, along with DJ Reader still coming back. We were able to get Levi Onwuzurike back in free agency, and then while we're having Aleem McNeil come back, remember he blew his knee out and shouldn't be back until November-ish, we were able to sign Roy Lopez in free agency. So we feel really good about the middle, because if that's not right, there's some long days on defense. As it pertains to Zadarius Smith, Holmes didn't make any comment about his chances to resign. Smith was mentioned in passing by Long, but Holmes did not address the situation. That doesn't surprise me. Brad Holmes keeps a lot of his cards to his chest. No one knows what Brad Holmes is going to do except for Brad Holmes, or until Brad Holmes knows what Brad Holmes is going to do. So we're going to walk back on over to the chat here. Oh, excuse me, fellas. When you go 5 days a week, is the channel going to explode? Just wait. That's what we're hoping for, Mr. Detroit City. We're hoping for a little bit more traction and a little bit more growth. Not going to lie. Eventually, I would love to just do this instead of having to go to work. Kerry Simchek, ain't that the truth? Yes, it is the truth. What Brent's saying there about biggest question is the O-line keep AR healthy. That's the thing. The Steelers' O-line not so great. The question on defense, do the Steelers get a deal done with Watt? Does he end up being traded away? Possible new home in Detroit? We'd love to see that, Jason. I would love to see TJ Watt chase a ring with the Detroit Lions. I have confidence in Hutch and some of the new guys we picked up. Davenport, not so much. Yeah, Brent, I agree with you. Davenport's got to show it. I got to see it, man. Availability is the best ability in the NFL. I hope they give him a rotational play to keep him healthy. I think that's the plan with Davenport, is that we have so many guys that we're going to greatly reduce the exposure he has to injury while maximizing his exposure to what he does well to take advantage of opposing defenses. Hassani and Ahmed's father said this morning that Ahmed's two sisters are coming to Detroit from Egypt. No shit, at the end of the month, getting the whole family in the D, which means he's going to play like a man possessed. I think the Bengals defense lack of talent will cost them games, even though their offense has talents. Yeah, B smiles, and especially, I think the Bengals are going to have a really bad year. I think the Bengals have had too much distraction with the T. Higgins and the Jamar Chase and the Trey Hendrickson bullshit. And ultimately, what you're going to find is that the Bengals, man, I am sweaty, boys. The Bengals are going to not have enough money to spend for any reasonable talent on defense, and I think it's very telling. I felt like Shamar Stewart was very disappointed that he was selected by the Bengals. Now, we have heard rumors here on the Detroit side of things that Brad Holmes was trying to trade up with the Bengals to go after Stewart, and that never obviously came to fruition. Detroit Lions have anywhere from 18 to 20 defensive tackles and defensive ends on this team. I do not think Z is coming back to to Detroit people. I agree, Frank, I completely agree. That's what I was saying. There's just so many bodies already that I don't think Zadarius Smith is in the works. I think he is a in case of fire, break glass type situation. Ty Williams to me was a kind of a reach. Only Ohio State player I liked was Harrison Jr., and I hate Ohio State. You know, Sam, I don't like Ohio State either. And I wasn't overly hype at first on the Tyleik Williams pick. And then I watched some film on him, and you know, my guy is he's just a Lee McNeil all over again, and we've seen what Lee McNeil's been able to do in the NFL. He's a little bit bigger than Lee McNeil is right now, but I actually think that Tyleik Williams has fell into the exact right situation that he needs to be in order to succeed. There's not going to be a tremendous amount of pressure put on him in his first year to go out there and produce. There will be times where he needs to be out there playing well, but it's not for the full duration of the NFL season, giving him exposure at the right times while mitigating the negative play impacting the psychology of the player. You know what I'm saying? And Ben Over Johnson reached out to Z's agent. Did he? Wow. Yeah, well, small PP Benedict Arnold, Bendover Johnson, the trader in the Windy City, can go ahead and have Zadarius Smith, and they can just all lose 17 games this year. Fuck the Bears, dude. You think it's clickbait? Frank, you think that's clickbait? I mean, it might be. I have noticed that the Bears are getting a little bit more traction around Ben Johnson in the news. Just the name alone pops a little bit more when you look up NFL news, and I'm just, yeah. Ben Johnson's a douche, and the Bears could go and fuck themselves. You know what I'm saying? The Bears can go and just eat all the dicks in the world. All right, boys. So we are nearing the end of the show. If you haven't already, would you kindly walk on over, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, ring that notification bell so you can be notified every time we go live Monday through Wednesday, and then you'll know when we go to that big 5 days a week show. Would you like the video if you enjoy the content that we're producing out here for you on this wonderful Wednesday, June 18th, the day before a national holiday? Make sure today to leave your speedballs out for St. George Floyd so he knows where to start a riot, as well as have a ceremony. Come on, man. As well as have a ceremonial dinner of fried chicken and grape Kool-Aid. We're going to be talking about the Lions making their announcement on when training camp is going to happen. This is coming to us from DetroitLions.com. Detroit Lions 2025 training camp presented by Rocket will open at the Meyer Performance Center in Allen Park for the 19th straight year, beginning with Back Together Weekend on July 26th. This year's camp will feature 2 joint practices with the Miami Dolphins and one joint practice with the Houston Texans. Fans must register for tickets to attend, and you can get a maximum of 4 per person. You can register at DetroitLions.com/training camp. There's a clickable link right there if you want to find out. There will be 3 practices exclusively to Lions loyal members. The loyal members will receive an email, blah, blah, blah. Also returning this summer will be the 3rd annual Pet Adoption Day presented by Pet Supplies Plus on July 29th, which will offer fans the opportunity to adopt dogs for various breeds and ages at cost. That's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. Around here at the Hat and Beard Show, we got 2 dogs and 3 cats. All of them were rescues. So, look, I get it, especially right now, dude. We've all had to really tighten our belts down, and especially adding another person or another mouth to the house. You know what I'm saying? Another thing to take care of in all out cost, but. You know what, man? There are a lot of animals that need a good home, and if you're considering getting a furry friend, dude, check out the rescues. Don't go to no puppy mills, man. Go and there's all my dogs have always been rescues, dude, and they've always been great. So do what you can, and remember, Jameer Gibbs and his old lady, they're big adopters. Speaking of old ladies, hey, shout out Sam Laporte. I think got married over the weekend. There's a cool picture of him and Action Jack Campbell and Brock Wright all together. Pet Supplies partners with local resources, and football fans and dog lovers alike will receive giveaways and gift cards. Since they inaugurated in 2013, nearly 40 dogs have been adopted during the Lions Pet Adoption Day. That's cool, man. Got to get those numbers up, though. Come on, let's get that. Let's tenfold that number. Come on, guys. Let's get that from 40 to 400. Let's get those numbers up. Come on, those are rookie numbers, dude. Gates will open 1 hour before the listed practice time. The Detroit Lions training camp presented by Rocket The Lions training camp presented by Rocket offers activities for all ages, including photos with Rory, the Lions cheerleaders, and Lions legends. Guests can also enjoy ticket and merchandise giveaways, interactive games, activities, plus face painting and balloon artists on select days. There will be Detroit area food trucks on site and non-alcoholic beverages available for purchase. So as you can see here, here's the breakdown. They kick it off Saturday, July 26th. Back together weekend. That's when everything gets going. We will be running practices or training camp through August 21st. Parking and entry. If you're interested, go ahead and park for free at selected lots near the Meyer Performance Center. There is a free shuttle to ride from the Performance Center will be provided for fans who park at the Fairlane Circle lots. That's pretty cool. Upon arrival, fans will be directed to the Republic Drive entrance back gate. Daily practice information updates you can get at their website. Practices, nobody cares. Don't video or live stream it. You can't get in. No one under 18. Don't bring any guns. Use a clear bag. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. So July 26th is when training camp kicks off. Cool. Whew. I am sweating up here, fellas. Holy rippers. I'm man. Woo-wee. Woo-wee, sucker. Down in the chat. Hey, B Smiles, thank you for liking and subscribing, my brother. I appreciate that. Mr. Detroit City can't stop laughing. We'll get more out of Levi Pascal, Wingu Muhammad. Do you think Aiden was good last year with him? Wait to see over 20. That's what I'm saying, Frank, dude. Hutch is going to have 69 sacks, dude. Toilet seats 6 and 11, 7 and 10. Lions 12 and 5 against elite schedules. This team, they were going to go playoffs. They'll be the best team this year. I agree, dude. And we have the toughest schedule, and we're going to defy all the odds while we win 17 games this year. We're going to go 17-0, Frank. Adopt over shop, Mr. Detroit City. I like that. Adopt over shop. That's exactly it, dude. Hate the camp uniforms. I don't like them either, Brent. I think they look cheesy with that Meyer uniform or Meyer brand right on the front of it. It looks kind of low rent. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Kerry, you got Detroit going 14-3. That's fair. I still like the 17-0. If Goff can connect with Morton, then it's like 12-5. If not, it might get ugly. Yeah, and that's kind of thing is what type of offense does John Morton peddle out for us? I know that Jared Goff will be able to execute whatever's given to him. We have the talent level to take care of whatever we need to. But really it comes down to is how good of an OC is John Morton really going to be? Did we miss a golden opportunity by not promoting Hank Fraley? You want a cup of this beard sweat, Mr. Detroit City? Hell yeah, dude. Maybe on Hat and Meat, of.com/Hat and Meat, I'll start selling my farts in a jar and my beard sweat in cups. That's exactly what I'll do. I'll make $1 billion. Hell yeah. Sell it online, get some cash. Exactly, dude. Last year was an anomaly at 15-2. Probably never see that again. Yeah, last year the against the spread shit was pretty wild, dude. You're not wrong, Sam. You're not wrong. All right, guys. So let's see. Up in the chat, up in the poll, we got 10 votes. We're gonna be closing this out. Is Mike Tomlin really on the chopping block, or is this offseason smoke? Yes, he's Jerry Jones' next coach. 20% of the vote. No, he'll retire as Steeler, walking away with it with 60% of the vote, and 20% of you said, you like my General Tso? If you like my General Tso, I'm going to give it to you now. Like my chopsticks, hit you in the shit with my little ass dick. Yellow. If you want to see me, eat Jello. Boom. We're going to go ahead and end that poll. Little Brian DiCamillo Chinese freestyle. So today, boys and girls, to wrap the week up, we talked about speculation about the future of Mike Tomlin and Steeler Nation. We connected Steeler Nation to the Detroit Lions by former Lions defensive back earning extension with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sean Elliott inked a 2-year, $12 million extension with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good for him getting some money after coming out of being a 6th-round pick and bouncing around the league for a few years. Lions GM Brad Holmes reiterates confident in team's defensive ends with the people we have in camp. And like we've talked about a couple times now, there are 152 defensive linemen in camp for the Detroit Lions, and not once down here at the very, very bottom. As it pertains to Za'Darius Smith, Holmes didn't make any comment about his chances to re-sign. Smith was mentioned in passing by Chris Long on the podcast Greenlight, but Holmes did not address the situation. So kind of sounds like the The winds are not favoring the sales of Zadarius Smith coming into Allen Park, and I, for one, am not necessarily butthurt about that. And then last but not least, we talked about the Detroit Lions when they're opening training camp July 26th and gave you some information on where you can find what to do, how to do, where to go, and what you can do to be a part of the Lions organization during training camp. Guys, I appreciate everything you've done this week. It's been a good couple of days here. I know we didn't get the full 3 days a week. I had to work early yesterday. Pulled a 12-hour day for really, I'm gonna be honest, a meeting that I didn't have to be a part of. But yeah, I'm gonna take their overtime. So gotta add a couple more dollary dues to the old pocketbook. You know what I'm saying? Hold Mike Tomlin down and shave his beard to get him out of there. Dude, Mike Tomlin looked weird without a beard, Mr. Detroit Steelers. The Steelers are behind the times, B. Smiles, and that's kind of what I think we're seeing, Mr. Smiles, is that just like the Michigan State Spartans scene here with Mark D'Antoni, is you're seeing possibly a organization with a head coach where the game is slowly passing him by, and it's time to probably look. If I was Mike Tomlin, obviously you got this whole year. If you don't go out and win a Super Bowl or make a good run at a Super Bowl, why not hang it up while you're still plus 500? You go out not at the highest peak, but Mike Tomlin's getting into Canton regardless, right? He's a first ballot Hall of Fame head coach. You know what I'm saying? Sam Armstrong, they like Davenport over Z. It seems like it. Not only does Brad Holmes really like what Marcus Davenport can do, but I also heard Calvin Shepard reiterate the exact same things Brad Holmes did, talking about his body, his build, how good he looks, how well of an offseason he's had. So I think they're very high on Marcus Davenport. Shave his eyebrows too, Mr. Tri-City. I think that make him look like Mr. Potato Head. Do you want this team to get the number 1, 2, and 3 seed? I think we want the number 1 seed, my guy. And you think Mr. Tri-City has been very open today about Mike Tomlin being a bum head coach. It's not the Detroit fans to play at home. It's for the team to be more comfortable in their home bed. Possibly. I don't like the Zadarius Smith thing right now. Tomlin, the ultimate stealer in the sense that he only produces mediocre season and steals cash from Pittsburgh. And the Steelers have been kind of in that perpetual mediocrity phase, Mr. Detroit City, where they've been good, not great, good, not terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's just not great, not terrible. You know what I'm saying? They're just kind of there middling, hanging out. But they aren't the big dogs in the AFC right now. They're greatly overshadowed by, obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills kind of doing what the Steelers did, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, just kind of bully balling their way around with that big-bodied, big-armed quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, fellas, appreciate everything this week. We did only have 2 shows, but you guys tuned in and turned out, and I fucking really appreciate it, dude. Thank you all for all of your work, sharing things around, commenting, engaging. I say it all the time, but really it's you guys that make the show. I'm just reading the stuff. You guys are the one that keeps us engaged, and you guys have not only different takes, but you guys got your finger on the pulse in different ways than I do, bring out a lot of new information, and open my eyes to different things. So I appreciate it. And shout out B Smiles. Got some Pittsburgh Nation coming over here hanging out, dude. That's what's up. Hey, good show. Thank you, Chase, dude. Hey, guys, and let's remember one more time. Happy birthday, Chase. Happy birthday, brother. I hope it's a good one, dude. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your day off, bro. Do whatever it is you want to do, man. Have a couple sodas down at the watering hole. Whatever it is you do, bro, it's your day. You live it up. You do your thing, dude. You enjoy it. So happy birthday, Chase. And thank you to everybody for tuning in. It's been a great week. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Keep your stick on the ice. Blah, blah, blah. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Until Monday, bonga bonga. Frig off.